Every woman deserves love that feels safe, respectful, and genuine. But too often, women ignore small warning signs in relationships because they hope things will change. They believe love will fix everything. They think patience will heal a person who is not ready to love properly. But the truth is, some signs are not just small issues, they are red flags. And when those red flags appear, ignoring them can cost you your peace, your confidence, and sometimes even your future. Many women grow up believing that love requires sacrifice. They are told that relationships are about adjusting, forgiving, and understanding. While compromise is a part of any healthy relationship, losing yourself is not. A healthy relationship should never require you to shrink your voice, silence your feelings, or tolerate disrespect. If someone truly loves you, they will not make you feel small. They will not make you question your worth. They will not make you feel like you are too much or not enough. One of the biggest red flags many women ignore is consistent disrespect. It often begins very subtly. Maybe it starts with small jokes at your expense. Maybe it is dismissing your opinions or interrupting you when you speak. Maybe it is making you feel like your emotions are too dramatic. At first, you might laugh it off. You might tell yourself that it's not a big deal. But disrespect that continues over time is not harmless. It slowly breaks your confidence. It teaches you to doubt your own feelings. And the more you ignore it, the more normal it becomes. Another major red flag is when someone refuses to take responsibility for their actions. If every argument somehow becomes your fault, that is not healthy communication. If someone constantly blames you for their behavior, they are avoiding accountability. In a healthy relationship, both people are willing to admit when they are wrong. They are willing to apologize and grow. But when someone always plays the victim and never acknowledges their mistakes, the relationship becomes emotionally exhausting. Manipulation is another dangerous red flag. It is not obvious. It might look like guilt tripping, emotional pressure, or making you feel responsible for someone else's happiness. You may hear things like, "If you really love me, you would do this." Statements like that are not love. They are control disguised as affection. Real love never forces you to prove yourself through pain, sacrifice. One of the most painful red flags is inconsistency. Someone who loves you should not make you feel confused about where you stand. One day they treat you like you are the most important person in their life, and the next day they ignore you or distance themselves. This emotional roller coaster keeps you hoping that the good version of them will come back. But love should not feel like a game you are constantly trying to win. Sometimes women ignore red flags because they see potential. They see the person someone could become instead of the person they truly are. But potential is not reality. A relationship should be based on who someone is today, not who you hope they might become someday. Waiting for someone to change can keep you trapped in a situation that drains your energy and happiness. Another serious red flag is when someone tries to isolate you from the people who care about you. They may criticize your friends or family. They may make you feel guilty for spending time with others. Slowly, they try to become the center of your world. This is not love, it is control. Healthy love encourages connection, not isolation. Your intuition is powerful. Many times, women feel that something is wrong long before they can explain it logically. That uncomfortable feeling in your chest, that voice in your mind telling you something isn't right, those feelings matter. Ignoring your intuition often leads to deeper pain later. Your inner voice exists to protect you. It is also important to remember that love should never come at the cost of your self-respect. The moment you start accepting behavior that hurts you just to keep someone in your life, you begin to lose pieces of yourself. And the saddest part is that the person you hold on to may never truly value the sacrifices you are making. Walking away from someone you care about is never easy. It can feel heartbreaking, confusing, and lonely. But sometimes walking away is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It means you respect yourself enough to choose peace over chaos. It means you understand that your value does not depend on someone else's approval. The right relationship will never make you feel like you have to beg for attention, respect, or loyalty. The right person will communicate openly, support your dreams, and celebrate your growth. They will not compete with you or try to control you. They will stand beside you as a partner, not above you as a ruler. Every woman deserves a love that feels safe. A love where she can be her true self without fear of judgment or rejection. A love that encourages her to grow instead of holding her back. But to find that kind of love, you must first learn to recognize and respect the warning signs that tell you when something is wrong. Ignoring red flags might feel easier in the moment, but it often leads to deeper pain later. Facing the truth may be uncomfortable, but it protects your future. Your time, your heart, and your energy are valuable. Do not give them to someone who treats them carelessly. Remember this: being alone is not a failure. Staying in a toxic relationship is not loyalty, it is self-neglect. The strongest thing a woman can do is walk away from what does not respect her and make space for what truly deserves her presence. So ladies, if you see the red flags, do not ignore them. Do not silence your intuition. Do not convince yourself that disrespect is love. Protect your peace, honor your worth, and never settle for less than the respect and kindness you deserve. Because the moment you start valuing yourself, the standards for how others treat you will change. And when you refuse to accept anything less than real love, you open the door for the kind of relationship that truly uplifts your life. Sometimes the most dangerous red flags are not loud or obvious. They appear quietly, hidden behind sweet words and temporary kindness. A person may apologize after hurting you, promise to change, and for a short time everything feels better again. You begin to believe that maybe things really will improve. But if the same behavior keeps repeating again and again, that is not growth. It is a cycle, and cycles like this slowly drain your emotional strength. Many women stay in unhealthy relationships because they are afraid of starting over. They fear loneliness. They fear judgment from others. They fear that they may never find someone else. But staying in a situation that constantly hurts you is far more damaging than being alone. Being alone gives you space to heal, grow, and rediscover your strength. Being with the wrong person slowly erodes your confidence and makes you forget who you truly are. Another red flag is when someone only values you when it is convenient for them. They show love when they need support, attention, or comfort, but disappear when you need the same in return. A relationship should never feel one-sided. Love should be balanced. Both people should care about each other's emotions, dreams, and well-being. If you are always the one giving while the other person keeps taking, eventually you will feel emotionally empty. Respect is the foundation of every healthy relationship. Without respect, love cannot survive. A person who truly respects you will listen when you speak. They will care about your boundaries. They will never pressure you to do something that makes you uncomfortable. When respect is missing, the relationship becomes a place of tension instead of peace. Another serious warning sign is emotional manipulation. Sometimes a person will twist situations to make you doubt your own memory or perception. They might say things like, "That never happened," or "You're imagining things." Over time, this can make you question your own reality. This behavior is deeply unhealthy because it takes away your ability to trust your own instincts. A partner who genuinely loves you will never try to confuse or control you. Instead, they will communicate clearly and honestly. They will make you feel secure, not uncertain. When someone consistently creates confusion and emotional instability, that is a red flag that should never be ignored. Another thing many women overlook is how a person reacts when they are angry. Everyone experiences anger at times, but how someone handles anger reveals a lot about their character. If a person becomes cruel, insulting, or aggressive during conflicts, that behavior should never be excused. Healthy relationships involve disagreements, but those disagreements should still be handled with respect and maturity. Sometimes women stay because they remember how beautiful the relationship felt in the beginning. The early days were full of excitement, affection, and attention. It is natural to want that feeling back. But the beginning of a relationship does not define its true nature. Anyone can be charming at the start. What truly matters is how someone treats you consistently over time. Another important red flag is jealousy that turns into control. At first, it might seem flattering when someone says they are jealous because they care about you. But when jealousy becomes controlling behavior, checking your phone, questioning your friendships, or monitoring where you go, it stops being love. It becomes a form of insecurity and control that can slowly limit your freedom. A healthy partner trusts you. They encourage your independence and respect your individuality. They understand that love should enhance your life, not restrict it. Your dreams and goals are also important in a relationship. If someone constantly discourages your ambitions or makes you feel guilty for pursuing your goals, that is another warning sign. A loving partner will support your growth. They will celebrate your achievements and motivate you to become the best version of yourself. Sometimes people reveal their true character not through how they treat you during good times, but how they behave during difficult moments. When challenges arise, a supportive partner will stand beside you. They will not abandon you emotionally or make your struggles feel like a burden. Another powerful lesson every woman should remember is that love should never require you to lose your identity. You should never feel like you have to change who you are just to keep someone interested. The right person will appreciate your personality, your values, and your individuality. They will not ask you to erase parts of yourself to make them comfortable. Self-worth plays a huge role in recognizing red flags. When you truly value yourself, you begin to notice behaviors that you once tolerated. You start to understand that you deserve kindness, honesty, and emotional security. Your standards rise because you finally see your own value. Leaving a toxic situation is one of the hardest decisions a woman can make, but it is also one of the most powerful. It requires courage to walk away from someone you once cared deeply about. It requires strength to choose self-respect over attachment. But every step you take toward protecting your peace brings you closer to the life you deserve. Healing after a painful relationship takes time. There may be moments of doubt, sadness, and reflection. But those moments are part of growth. With time, you begin to understand that the pain was not meaningless. It taught you lessons about boundaries, self-respect, and emotional awareness. Eventually, you reach a point where you no longer feel angry or regretful. Instead, you feel grateful for the lessons that helped you become stronger and wiser. You realize that walking away was not the end of your story, it was the beginning of a better chapter. The most important relationship you will ever have is the one you build with yourself. When you learn to love and respect yourself deeply, you become less willing to tolerate anything that threatens your peace. So ladies, remember this truth. Red flags are not obstacles meant to be ignored. They are signals meant to protect you. They are warnings that give you the opportunity to choose a healthier path. Listen to your instincts, trust your feelings, protect your heart, and never forget that your worth is far too valuable to be wasted on someone who cannot recognize it. The moment you begin choosing yourself, everything in your life begins to change. There comes a moment in many women's lives when they look back at a relationship and ask themselves one painful question. Why didn't I see the signs earlier? The truth is, most women do see the signs. The red flags are there for the beginning. But hope has a powerful way of blinding us. Hope convinces us that love will fix everything. Hope tells us that if we are patient enough, supportive enough, forgiving enough, the other person will eventually become the partner we need them to be. But real love does not require you to constantly hope for someone to change. Real love is stable, respectful, and consistent. It does not leave you guessing about where you stand. It does not leave you feeling anxious about whether someone truly cares about you. Instead, it provides clarity, emotional safety, and mutual respect. Another red flag that many women overlook is when someone refuses to grow. Everyone has flaws and everyone makes mistakes. Growth is part of being human. But when someone repeatedly refuses to learn from their mistakes, the relationship becomes stuck. If a person keeps repeating the same harmful patterns without making real effort to improve, it shows a lack of maturity and responsibility. Growth in a relationship should be mutual. Both partners should inspire each other to become better individuals. They should encourage self-improvement and support each other's personal development. But when only one person is trying to fix the relationship while the other continues harmful behavior, the emotional burden becomes unfair and exhausting. Another subtle red flag is when someone only shows kindness in public but behaves differently in private. In front of others, they may appear loving, charming, and respectful. But behind closed doors, their behavior changes. They become dismissive, cold, or even emotionally hurtful. This contrast can be confusing because it makes you question your own experiences. You may wonder if the problem is really as serious as it feels. But the truth is, a person's character is revealed by how they treat you when no one else is watching. Genuine respect does not depend on an audience. True love is consistent whether the world is watching or not. Another warning sign is when someone dismisses your boundaries. Boundaries are not selfish. They are necessary for emotional health. They define what behavior you are willing to accept and what behavior you are not. A partner who respects you will respect your boundaries, even if they do not fully understand them. But someone who repeatedly ignores or pushes against your boundaries is showing a lack of respect for your emotional well-being. Over time, ignoring boundaries can make you feel powerless in the relationship. It can make you feel like your comfort and safety do not matter. One of the most heartbreaking red flags is when someone makes you feel like you have to compete for their attention or affection. Love should never feel like a competition. You should never feel like you have to prove your value over and over again just to keep someone interested. The right person will choose you without hesitation. They will not keep you in a constant state of uncertainty. They will not make you feel like you are an option instead of a priority. Another important truth every woman should remember is that emotional peace is priceless. A relationship should bring stability and cut into your life, not constant stress and anxiety. If being with someone consistently makes you feel tense, worried, or emotionally drained, it may be a sign that the relationship is not healthy. Your mental and emotional health should never be sacrificed for the sake of keeping someone in your life. Peace is not something you should have to fight for in love. It should be one of the natural outcomes of being with the right person. Sometimes women ignore red flags because they believe leaving means failure. Society often teaches women to hold relationships together no matter what. They are praised for being patient, forgiving, and loyal. But loyalty should never mean tolerating behavior that harms you. True strength is not found in staying in painful situations. True strength is found in recognizing when something is unhealthy and having the courage to walk away. Walking away does not erase the memories you shared with someone. It does not mean the relationship had no good moments. It simply means you have chosen to prioritize your future over a painful present. And the truth is, when you finally leave a toxic environment, something incredible begins to happen. Slowly, your mind becomes clearer. Your confidence begins to return. The emotional weight that once felt unbearable begins to lift. You start rediscovering the parts of yourself that were buried beneath stress and self-doubt. Your laughter becomes genuine again. Your dreams begin to feel possible again. You start remembering who you were before the relationship made you question your worth. And most importantly, you begin to understand a powerful truth: you were never asking for too much. You were simply asking the wrong person. The right partner will never make you feel like loving you is a burden. They will never treat your emotions as an inconvenience. Instead, they will appreciate your heart, your kindness, and your loyalty. They will communicate openly. They will respect your individuality. They will support your goals and stand beside you through life's challenges. But before that kind of relationship can enter your life, you must be willing to close the door on relationships that do not honor your value. Every red flag you choose not to ignore is a step toward protecting your future. Every boundary you set is a declaration of self-respect. Every moment you choose your peace over someone else's chaos is a victory for your emotional well-being. So ladies, never underestimate the importance of listening to your instincts. That quiet voice inside you often knows the truth long before your mind is ready to accept it. Trust yourself enough to walk away from situations that make you feel small, unappreciated, or emotionally unsafe. Because the moment you truly recognize your worth, you stop settling for love that hurts. And when you refuse to ignore the red flags, you give yourself the chance to experience the kind of love that feels calm, genuine, and deeply respectful. That is the love every woman deserves.